Давай, выключайся, Катя.
To Ukraine. It's everything from Ukraine.
I'm not sure if it's everyone, but
Szám kell nekem.
Mit lehet, mikor az egész életünk munkája?
Igen, a más nem találtam.
Az életünk munkája, mindent ott kell hagyni, de csak oda és lejössz az udvarról. Bele lehet abba gondolni, hogy mit lehet érezni.
Well, still the vast majority, something like 90%, are women and children. In addition, there are more vulnerable cases, so elderly people, disabled people. These are perhaps people who had found it difficult to move earlier on in the conflict, and then they saw a window and were perhaps able to get out. There have also been some returns to the country. We don't have specific data on that, and it's very hard to disaggregate between what's a sustainable return, in other words, someone who was a refugee choosing to go back and to restart their life, and what is more regular movement. We know that a number of people have been crossing the border to see relatives, maybe for personal reasons, even for trade and commerce and that kind of thing.
Тоже бежит от войны.
The first challenge is getting yourself and your family safely across borders, and then finding somewhere to stay, reception, whether that's going to be in a temporary center or in a more permanent structure. And that very much depends country by country where you are. As we know, many have chosen to move on as well to countries in Western Europe. But in terms of the breakdowns of the specifics in terms of children and those with acute needs, we don't yet have that data. Of course, we know that there are dangers related to the abuse, particularly of women. We know that they are the vast majority women and children, and they are, of course, more vulnerable. And I think in the chaos of the initial displacement, there were big concerns with the huge numbers moving. I think as the weeks have passed, more structures have been put in place. Ourselves and partners like UNICEF and other UN agencies have been able to set up reception and monitoring facilities, and that has helped to mitigate some of the worst risks there.
Мы сейчас пройдем туда, дайте возможность выпить воды.
района Донецкой области. Плохо. Разбитые дома, очень плохо. Лично у меня вот так вот завалилось все в середину. Сначала оббивались стекла, только летели, а потом все, 3 удара в дом, так, все завалилось.
И у меня все окна повылетало, все повылетало, все поразбивало.
Ребята сказали, убирайте,
Это по-любому, по-любому.
будет месиво.
Кто палочку потерял? Палочку кто потерял? Палку.
Так он же в автобусе ехал.
Фамилия, бабуль. Генкин. Нет.
There was an expectation earlier in the conflict that the war would spread to the west, to the Lviv area. And I think if it had done so, we were preparing for a larger outflow of people. Now it's much more concentrated in the Donbass region. And of course, there could still be fresh displacement, depending on how the situation evolves in terms of the fighting. But more recently, we haven't seen the big numbers going into the East European countries that border Ukraine. Certainly in the last few weeks, it's been slightly slower.